It probably should have been worse than that when you consider that the guy who played wire to wire for Dallas at quarterback handed them the ball not once, not twice, not thrice, but 5 times. 5 interceptions. I'll see your Stetson Bennett 4 interception and raise you a 5th interception. And look, I feel bad for Trey Lance because, and this is one of my anti-draft takes, he never would have signed with the 49ers. He never would have chosen San Francisco, not at his stage of development. And we know the story. The 49ers felt like they needed a quarterback that could maybe make off-schedule plays, and they still had Jimmy Garoppolo under contract, and they freaked out, and they traded up, and they gave up a lot, and they got Trey Lance, and it didn't work. And now Lance is just kind of floating around in the wilderness, 5 interceptions. When is he going to be ready, if ever, to start?
I don't know. Look, is he ready to be a backup? I think is the first thing we got to break down a barrier for here, right? Preseason game 1, not good. Preseason game 2, you go, oh, hey, yeah, there's some things that are positive here. Preseason 5 interceptions in a preseason game against a bunch of backups? Are you kidding me? And they're all horrible. The first one was horrible. That was even more horrible. This is pretty damn horrible, right? I think the thing you go with the Trey Lance a lot of the time is you see physical tools, but you just go, can he play quarterback? Is he a guy that just is a good athlete and has a strong arm, or is he a quarterback? And those are the things I still question. I do. Timing, rhythm. I mean, this should have been a touchdown. That was your Justin Fields throw that you've been talking about. So, yes, with the Cowboys, now they traded a 4th-round pick for him, and they want this to work, and they're trying so hard to work when they had a pretty good backup in Cooper Rush to begin with, right? What are they going to do now? Is Trey Lance really going to be the backup? He's fumbled 2 times in the game as well. I mean, that's what's crazy. And I'd have a hard time trusting him as my backup.
Part of this, too, is this is the clumsy, clunky, awkward leverage play that the Cowboys have in the event that Dak Prescott walks away.
Right.
This is the guy that would have become – and that's why they gave up a 4th-round pick for him. Nobody else was offering close to a 4th-round pick. Here's Jerry Jones talking about Trey Lance's 5-interception night against the Chargers.
Well, I saw good, and I saw some things that you'd like to have back. I hated those 5 intercepts are going to be a stat on a game that I couldn't have asked for more reps and better situation to watch him play, and he needed that because the one thing he's missing more than anything is the lack of reps, much less NFL reps. Saw some good things and saw some things you'd like to have back, but overall I'm glad to have that outing with us, and certainly we're planning on him being on our roster for sure.
What have you seen from him that tells you he could be a starter for you someday in this league?
Well, I think he's his athleticism. I think the main thing is the improvement from over the last 6 weeks. That's impressive, very impressive. What you're looking for is the arrow going up, and is going up dramatically, really, every practice and every game.
Yeah, the arrow that went up was the interceptions. I mean, it's kind of hard to sell us on the idea that he's improving when he threw 5 interceptions. He's going to be on the 53-man roster for one very simple reason. His salary is fully guaranteed. Mm-hmm. He's in the 4th and final year of his rookie contract. Have you ever, and I know you can only say so much, have you ever asked Kyle, what the hell did you see? And again, I feel bad saying that because maybe it's not inherent to the player. Maybe he's played this way because of the circumstance.
Yeah, no, I mean, we got into that. I think if Kyle and what he saw was, again, what a lot of people in football saw, which is a guy that's, ooh, wow, it's a powerful arm. Ooh, it's a pretty good athlete. Ooh, he's a smart kid, right? Can understand a lot of offense and reapply it on the board or the football field. I think there was that. I think Shanahan also was going, wait, this could be a new angle of how I play on that side of the ball. Right? I think he was a little worried about the fact of, man, I got a lot of coordinators around the league that are all from my staff, right? I mean, it's incredible, really, when you think about Shanahan's staff around the NFL. So I think he was looking at it like, man, they're all stealing my ideas. They all know kind of what the secret is, the secret sauce behind the scenes. This can kind of give me a jump here, let alone we know he wasn't happy with his quarterback and Jimmy Garoppolo. Right. So I think all of that led to it, right? But, that's where sometimes with these quarterbacks it's tough. It's like, okay, yeah, I recognize there's some issues in his throwing. Can we fix it? Can we not? And it's just not always that easy, and I think we're seeing that with Trey Lance, let alone I just don't know if he's a guy I would classify as an athlete who plays quarterback instead of a quarterback who's a good athlete. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? And that's what I continue to see from Trey Lance.
Think about the 2021 draft. The 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 15 picks. Trevor Lawrence, yes.
Yeah. Zach? No.
Zach Wilson?
No.
No. Trey Lance? No.
Right.
Justin Fields? So far?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
But who knows? And
Mac
Mac Jones stuck on
yeah.
the Jaguars depth
Backup,
chart,
right.
battling with C.J. Beathard for the number 2 spot. So it really is amazing, and it's something to remember every April when the draft rolls around. But the problem is the whole draft industrial complex is get hyped, get hopeful, get excited. This guy's going to be great.
Especially
that guy's going to be great. This guy's going to be great. That guy's going to be great. And by the time we find out they're not great, that moment has passed and we don't care anymore. That's why people say, well, why don't you grade draft classes 3 years, 4 years later? Because there's no market for it, because nobody cares. They want to focus on what's here and now.
Yeah.
So they want the draft grades on here and now. They don't want to rebuild it 3 years later, because it doesn't matter. Because what happens is after the draft, all those guys get thrown into the pot with everyone else, and they hit the button, and we see who pops out and who doesn't. And so far from 2021, only one guy's popped. And I feel bad for Trey Lance, because I just can't help but wonder if he had started his career somewhere else.
Yeah, I hear you.
In 2021, would things have gone differently?
Right. No, it's a fair question. It is. It was a tough situation he was put in. There's no doubt. It was, not Jordan Love-esque, but not too dissimilar from that. And, there was a lot of pressure and talk on the situation, and it's hard to succeed that way. It is. And, we've seen some better. We have. But at the same time, again, I said last week, right, when we were talking about Stetson Bennett, if I had 7 turnovers in 2 preseason games, John Gruden would have boxed me up and sent me to Bangladesh. If I threw 5 interceptions in preseason game number 3, I would have been hoping I go to Bangladesh. He'd send me to Antarctica. So that's where it's kind of like Jerry Jones can say what he wants and all of that. Those are 5 interceptions, and really 4 of them were – actually, all 5 of them were really, really bad.
We're peel back the curtain a little bit. We were doing rehearsals last night, and they slipped in some old Chris Simms highlights with Gruden.
Gosh.
And Pete noticed this. I didn't. There was kind of a Kirk Cousins, Mike Zimmer moment where you ran over and you gave John Gruden not a love tap as you ran by him.
Definitely not. We had that kind of relationship. He knew he could ride me and yell at me and MF me and do all those things, and I can handle it, right? And what was good was if I was playing good and doing some good things, I could give it back to him a little bit. And we just had a walk-off game winner. And, I gave him a good shot to the left pectoral area.
I'm familiar with that move. I've been on the wrong end of that move from time to time.
Okay, you have a chance to win $1 million in the NBC sweepstakes on Yahoo Fantasy. Just download the redesigned Yahoo Fantasy app or go to NBCSports.com/fantasymillion for additional details. What are you waiting for?
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.